Hey guys, you're probably wondering what this magical little box I have is, and it's something that I've not seen in the paranormal community before, so I decided to go ahead and make one, and I'm going to show you how as well. So first things first, please excuse the mess. It's nearing towards Christmas and it's a bit like a cardboard explosion in here at the moment. What this box is a ultrasonic sensor, and so essentially what it does is fire out ultrasonic waves from the two sensors here, and then when something obstructs the path it will alarm and make a sound, and then also light the LED up, which will change colour as the object gets closer. You'll see a demonstration on screen at the moment, and it will go from blue into purple, into green, into yellow, and then into red as the object gets closer, and the alarm will sound quicker and quicker. This concept originally came to me when I was speaking to a colleague at work who just got into electronics, and he showed me the ultrasonic sensor, and I kind of said, what the hell is that? And the minute he said it was an ultrasonic sensor, I started to apply that logic to how it could be used in ghost hunting. As I say, this isn't something I've seen anyone do before, so I'm hoping that it's maybe something new that can be used and another way to try and detect things. I have no idea if it actually works or not, but that's probably good in a way because all of ghost investigate or paranormal investigations is theoretical. So without any further ado, I'll jump into how it's wired up and all the code and components you'll need to make one of these boxes. So the build for this is based on the Arduino Uno. If you don't have any ideas on how to code with the Arduino Uno, I'll link some tutorials below which will give you a base idea of how to do it. But basically it works off of setting up pins to do different functions, and then once you've set up the pins you can start to write the code which will basically have the effects that you want for whatever project you're working on. This code will also be in the description below, so as long as you get a base knowledge of Arduino coding you should be good to go, and you can just copy this code and apply it to your Uno. The only thing that may be a little bit fiddly is wiring up the Arduino, but if you follow these pins that will basically tell you which wire needs to go to which pin or output. And again, I'll put tutorials below for the individual components like the actual sensor and the buzzer and the LED. So what you're basically going to want to do is wire up all the components, apply the code, and you should be good to go. If you want to play with anything in terms of what's named the safety distance, that is basically how far away before the Arduino will trigger. And yeah, I basically watched some tutorials, worked out some basics, put this code together, and that was it really. I built this ultrasonic box, and as I say, hopefully it works for the purpose of ghost hunting. One thing you may come across, and although it's not explicitly said within the code, is that some of the units do need power, and there is 5-volt and ground connectors on the Arduino Uno board. Again, the tutorials for the individual components should help with this, and then all it's a case of doing is looking at which pins that each component is going into and then wiring it up accordingly. I'll also include the products I used below. There's basically an Arduino starter kit which gives you the Arduino board and a load of other stuff that you could ever possibly need, which includes the buzzer, an RGB LED, and the actual ultrasonic sensor itself. As a very brief example, let's take the RGB LED and how that's wired up. So it's essentially got 4 pins, and you've got what they refer to, or what I've referred to as a red, a green, and a blue pin, RGB. And then you also have a negative or an earth pin. So in this instance, pin 5 is going to the red pin, pin 6 is going to the green pin, and pin 3 is going to the blue pin. So once all of those are hooked up, you can basically dictate, let me just scroll down here, you can dictate what colours you would like in terms of RGB. So this is red, green, blue, so it's 255 in the red column, 100 in the green column, and then 0 in the blue column, which gives you a sort of a yellow colour. Don't worry about knowing RGB colours, it's really simple. You can go on Google and search for instance, yellow RGB code, and it will pull it up for you straight away, and then it's just a case of copying and pasting. As I say, the negative pin isn't dictated, but all the negative pin is doing for the RGB LED is going into one of the ground ports that's on the Arduino Uno, or in this case the Lego Uno. Other than that, I think it's similar with the buzzer. The buzzer pin's got a pin going to it, and then I believe an earth out. But again, I'll include the individual tutorials below, so they'll be able to explain better than I can all the ins and outs of it. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys can make your own one of these and test it in the field. I would really love if you can, and if you can give me any form of feedback or comment below if you have any hits on it, or if it works, if it doesn't work. As I say, this isn't any sort of paranormal investigation tech I've seen before, so I'm really keen for other people to try it and see if we can get results with it, or if it just comes up a bust. Because again, everything in terms of paranormal investigating is theory, so why not try something new? It is somewhat similar, I guess, to like an infrared motion sensor, but instead of using infrared or thermal radiation to trigger it, it's creating essentially like a tripwire or an ultrasonic tripwire, which then if something cuts through that tripwire, you will see it alarm and the LED will go off. As I say, put one together, test it in the field, let me know how you get on, comment below. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please remember to like the video, and if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.